Good evening. Thanks for joining. We are studying the Dhammapada, chapter 11. Let me pull it up. Here we go. I translated the Dhammapada. It took me maybe 6 months to translate, maybe 6 to 8 months. But then if you look at the drawings, if you look at this drawing here, I actually digitally remastered each one of the drawings by hand and then turned them to oil paint. And that took, I think, 10 months to do. So when we're reading, feel free to look at the drawings. This is chapter 11, which is aging, Jaravaga. If you look at the picture, you can see the soul being born and the cycle of life. This is called the cycle of rebirth. All right, let's study. Sutra 146. How can you be happy and carefree when the world is always burning? If you are in the dark, shouldn't you seek a lamp? 147. Look at the image of a body. It may appear attractive, but below the surface, it is a mass of festering wounds, vulnerable and filled with latent desires. Truthfully, the body is neither stable nor enduring. Having some issues with it here. I think it's because the file is too large. Sutra 147. Look at the image of a body. It may appear attractive, but below the surface is a mass of festering wounds, vulnerable and filled with latent desires. Truthfully, that body is neither stable nor enduring. Verse 148. The body is worn out with old age. It is a host for sickness and eventually decays. This conglomerate of organic material disintegrates because life is infused with death. Sutra 149. When your dove-gray bones are laying on the ground like gourds in autumn, will you feel happy to gaze upon them? Sutra 150. This body is a city built of flesh, blood, and bones. There is a hidden vault of pride, deceit, decay, and death. 151. Oh. Hold on. I thought the screen share was on. The screen share isn't even on. Let me put the screen share on. I'm going to X this out. Hang in there for a minute with me, guys. That wasn't working right. Let me pull it up in a different file. I think the file's too large for my Adobe. So let me pull it up in InDesign. Thanks for joining the study, guys. I really appreciate it. This is an ongoing study, and it's welcome for people to have questions and comments. So I definitely know the Dhammapada. If you have any questions about it and I can answer them, I will. Okay. Let's see where we were. The wise. 8, 9, 11. Okay, we're going to go here, window. Sorry about that. The other file was having some issues. Here we go. Verse 151. Even the well-crafted chariots of the king wear out, and the body also decomposes, but the teaching of the eternal truth does not age. It is passed on from generation to generation. Verse 152. An unlistening man matures like an ox. He may grow physically, but his wisdom does not grow. Verse 153. Through many births in samsara, I have wandered in vain, seeking the builder of this house of life. This cycle is painful. Verse 154. Finally, I see that this cycle is coming to an end. The root of the house of life has collapsed and its walls fallen. I have completely dismantled my mind and attained the destruction of craving. Thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate it. 155. Those who have not observed proper discipline or acquired wealth in their youth languish like old herons in a dried up lake depleted of fish. Verse 156. Those who have not observed proper discipline or acquired wealth in their youth lay helplessly like an arrow misfired from the bow. You know what? Let's do 12 too. Self. 157. If you love yourself, you should take care of yourself. A wise person stays alert during the three stages of consciousness: the awake state, the unconscious state, and the dreaming state. And if you're studying the Yoga Sutras, this is really big. Mastering meditation on the three states. If you meditate on the three states for long enough, they'll combine and become an omniscient superconscious state. By meditating on your dreams, meditating on when you're completely unconscious, and meditating for when you come into consciousness. Verse 158. First become settled with clarity about what is correct. Only then should you teach others. A wise man should not incur reproach. Verse 159. Do what you would teach others to do. When you embody the teachings, then you can teach others. Embodying the teachings is harder than teaching it to others. He also says, if you master others, you've mastered nothing. If you've mastered yourself, you've mastered everything. He also says, if you point out others' flaws, that your own flaws will grow. The Dalai Lama says that the proper amount of correction and positive reinforcement is 80-20. There has to definitely be some kind of correction, because you have to say, well, this is wrong, but 80% positive reinforcement, 20% reproach is good. But if you can avoid reproach altogether, verse 160, really you're supposed to appreciate reproach. You can tell when somebody's giving you good reproach and bad reproach, but it'll definitely make you see a personality when somebody reproaches you. 160, you are your own refuge, for how can others be a refuge to you? When you attain self-mastery, you will have a refuge for life that few can find. These next verses are really good. Verse 161, the evil that you do, definitely, bro, definitely. The evil that you do that is born from you and arises out of you grinds you down like a diamond grinds a precious stone. Here, it's like wherever you go, you carry your heart with you. And if there's something in your heart that's destructive, it'll destroy what's around you, like kind of how you can tell somebody by their fruit kind of thing. Verse 162, your enemies want you to do evil so they can drag you down with them, like a creeping vine strangles a tree which it grows upon. Now here, when I eliminated certain people from my life, that weren't going to change and stuff like that, when you hang out with people like that, they bring you down. And then a lot of times you'll notice when you're trying to just steer clear of trouble that people try to bring you down, they want you to do bad things so that you can destroy your own karma. What you can do there is you can direct your energy in a different direction, but I think you guys know that. 163. Doing bad deeds or harmful things is easy. Doing good deeds and beneficial things is exceedingly difficult. Thanks for joining. Any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section. Verse 164. There are some ignorant people who have harmful views and obstruct the teachings of the noble saints, who conduct their lives righteously. They are self-destructive like bamboo plants that are destroyed when they bear fruit. Verse 165. When you do evil, you defile yourself. When you refrain from evil, you are purified. A person is cleansed by himself. Nobody can purify another. Your purity and impurity depend on you. So if you just sit there and don't do impure things, your soul and your spirit will be purified by the energy that comes in from the universe. The Yoga Sutras goes into that. Verse 166. Do not neglect your spiritual progress by overextending yourself to others. Stay aware of your own spiritual self-interest and dedicate yourself to your higher goals and understanding. This one for me, I just had to learn this lesson for like the 5th time recently. I overextended myself again. Well, I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm just not gonna, yeah. The dedicating yourself to your practice. Yes, Dabbler. It's said that the energy of the universe comes in through the crown, but it also comes in from all directions. You can say the earth energy comes in through the root. You can say that the energy from the universe comes into the crown. But when you're really open, it's just coming into you. You can feel it on your skin. When the chakras are open, it's different than when the chakras are closed, but drawing the energy in through the crown is definitely one of the ways to start. So definitely yes, I'm going to say, but in the higher levels, in omniscience and omnipresence, yeah, it's definitely beyond that. One of the meditations, I know that you were watching for the Yoga Sutras, but one of the meditations that you do is you focus on your body, then the space around you, then the state that you're in, then the country you're in, then the earth, then the solar system, then the galaxy, then the universe. And when you do that, you eliminate what's separateness. You expand your consciousness to that. When your consciousness is expanded, then you start doing this qigong meditations that you do where you focus on where the energy comes. And when you focus on where the energy comes, the light and the wind, if you go beyond that, then you can connect to source. When you start connecting to source and your soul starts getting closer to the source, because in your soul there's a piece of source. So whatever created all this matter, there's a piece of it in your heart, and you're connecting that piece back with the original piece. And the meditation that I've been doing a lot recently, is I separate my soul. I go into a meditative state, calm my body and my mind, and then I feel my soul next to source, next to God, next to the creator. I love to call it God, but you can call it source as well. And then I just sit there and I absorb his grace and his light. When I'm absorbing energy from God like that, it's straight into my soul. There's no more in through the body. But absolutely, I also do meditations where I absorb healing energy in through my crown. But I also do meditation where I ground and connect to the center of the energy of the earth. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say or ask? Guys, I really appreciate you joining the study. We'll be here weeknights at 8 for the Dhammapada, weeknights at 7. We're going to recite the suttas. So I really appreciate you guys coming. The book is for sale. The link is in the description. If you guys are interested, it's hardcover is only available right now. But if you want, you can give it a buy on Amazon. Thanks so much for joining, Greg. Thank you.